Hey everyone, Harry here to talk about not the Trump trial, but rather Judge Aileen Cannon's latest. And I have to say, in character, both for refusing to rule on something and for its gratuitous and really unusual sort of slapdown of the DOJ. All right, to recap, a week ago, last Wednesday, May 22nd, Trump tweeted out this incendiary email suggesting that the DOJ, when it had executed the search in this case, was actually gunning for him, that Biden wanted to use deadly force against him, that it was maybe a plot to assassinate him. It was, even by Trump standards, ludicrous and without any basis whatsoever. You know, Trump wasn't, the number one thing is he was pointing to a circular that you give out to the FBI in order to minimize the risk of the use of deadly force. You remind them it can only be done in, extreme cases of danger to life or limb. And it's completely standard kind of stuff. So he took a standard circular or information you do in any search and actually emphasized the part that remained of, you may have to use deadly force. And of course, that you can't imagine having a search that didn't have that possibility. As a quick aside, look, searches, when an FBI or DEA agent come in, they purposely have a really extreme show of force. You want to take charge of the situation and immediately, and you want to prevent, and that's in order to prevent problems. I've talked about this before, but the movies where Jodie Foster is going there alone and you're saying, no, don't do it. It's what you want is what the DEA and FBI do, which is they come in with a couple dozen people, and to minimize. So anyway, the suggestion by Trump was more than ludicrous. It was, as Merrick Garland said the next day, extremely dangerous. Not just in the false suggestion how it could rev up the Trump faithful. Recall the time when he criticized the FBI and a lone wolf tried to shoot up the Cincinnati bureau, but you do not want people who are being searched to think that the government is coming at them with deadly force. That's exactly the kind of situation that would create tragedy. And so Garland was, who's been hands off on these matters, said extremely dangerous. And then the DOJ came in with a motion to modify Trump's conditions of release. Remember, he's a defendant here. He's released pursuant to certain conditions that he has to meet, and they are continuing obligations. And so the DOJ said, modify these, please, in a sort of gag order way, but to say he can't try to criticize law enforcement and he can't try to criticize witnesses in the case, the same thing that's been imposed everywhere. So it seems pretty straightforward. And DOJ came in before they did. It's Friday afternoon before Labor Day. They reach out to Trump team, which poses the motion, and they put their, they talked to them, and here's what they said. They put it in footnotes, serve it up to the good Judge Cannon. If she were to rule, would it be something that they'd take up to the 11th Circuit? Or if she were not to rule on something exigent like this, we want to modify conditions of release, then it might be something you could try to take up for mandamus. So what does she do? She denies the motion promptly and totally takes the government to task. First, she says it's substanceless. She criticizes the substance. I don't know what she's talking about. Obviously, given this predicate, the need for modification of conditions of release it's a strong case at a minimum. So that's just gratuitous. And then she basically slaps him around for not meaningfully meeting and conferring. She says, you actually did this on Friday at 8 p.m. before Memorial Day weekend. Yeah, that's when they're having to do the motion. And you just talked about what they said in footnotes. In the future, we want a statement from them in the text that says exactly what their position is. And based on their not having, they met and conferred, but not having done it in the way she now says you need to do, she denies the motion and kicks the government around as she so loves to do. So I expect you'll see a fuller meet and confer, a resubmission of the motion. She did not say that they'd actually asked for sanctions at Team Trump for the lawyers and agents who worked on this. Again, this is a very straightforward thing of not endangering witnesses and the like. She, exercised her discretion not to do that. But she, basically said you can do it again, but this is what you have to do to meaningfully meet and confer. That's news. And for her to use the failure to do her new bulked up theory of meeting and confer as a reason, not just to deny, but to really castigate the government. Well, let's just say it's par for the course for Aileen Cannon. Talk to you later. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video and other Talking Feds content, please take a second to like and subscribe. Talk to you later.